It is one of my favorite days of the year to go with one of my favorite weeks of the year because all of your new pictures are in Power School. So they're there. And everybody looks amazing. Round of applause for all of us. Round of applause for all of us. And when I say, when I say amazing, it's spelled like, what do you mean, oh my gosh? Get out of here. That's what I mean. Amazing. Okay. It's already Halloween week, but add that on top. It's just the chef's kiss, as they would say. Okay. As you know by now, the Schoology online practice is the only thing that's required. The study guide, optional. There's a couple things there you might want to look at. I don't want to say it's an easy exam. I think it's a manageable exam. We talked about this. It focuses on all of Chapter 3. The back end of Chapter 3, pretty much constructions and linear stuff. So you should feel pretty good about it, but that being said, you don't want to leave anything to chance, okay? A couple of random thoughts though first. It was the swordfish. Kudos to you. It was a bigger struggle in here than it was in period 5, but I think most of you did get there eventually, yes? Yes, okay? I thought we could use some swordfish fun facts. I think that's not something we know a lot about, okay? So a couple things. They're expert fencers. They use their swords to knock fast, agile prey off balance. Apparently they have high-speed chases underwater. They can incapacitate them. That's upsetting. You know what that means, right? Okay, they cut the head off. Okay, and then that means they can easily eat the prey. So, swordfish number 1, expert fencers. They're one of the fastest fish. Yeah, there's 11. I only take a couple. It's Halloween week. Okay. They're one of the fastest fish in the world. It's been debated, but it's generally accepted that they can reach a max speed of 40 miles per hour. I think that's impressive. Okay. They're fearsome predators, but allegedly they have no teeth. None. No teeth at all. Okay? So they feed primarily on squid and smaller fish. I don't know why you need to incapacitate them, or whatever it might be. Okay? But they actually don't have any teeth, so they can't actually chew it down. Their brains, that's a baby one. Their brains apparently have a central heating system. So they have a specialized tissue behind the eyes packed full of mitochondria, and usually they can produce their own heat, which I find interesting. Apparently it gets cold down there. That's it. Round of applause for me for my swordfish. Okay, let's talk about the actual, by the way, your performance task was due. If you didn't submit it, you better do that soon because I'm going to grade them this afternoon. Okay, so this is the outline of the exam. Okay, it is 35 points. Okay, combination of multiple choice and short answer. There is going to be one where you have to draw a line of best fit. There is a practice in the Schoology, which I'll talk about in a bit. There are a couple of constructions. There is a bonus question. Okay, like I said, it focuses mostly on 3.6 through 3.8. There is some early Chapter 3 stuff in there. There's some. Okay, so you can't act like there's none of it. 3.7 and 3.8 is stuff that you did 2 years in a row, so you really can't afford to be messing around with that stuff. Okay, so 3.1 through 3.5, these were all the things you took on your last exam. You should know what all of these different angles are. Okay, you should know the triangle angle sum theorem, the exterior angle theorem. You can cover 3.1 through 3.5 by just looking over your last test for 5 minutes, 10 minutes maybe. Okay, 3.6 were the constructions. Okay, and there are a couple of practices in that study guide which I'll highlight to you. Like, can you construct parallel lines? Okay, can you construct perpendicular at a point on the line and perpendicular from a point to the line? We only did 3 new constructions. There's 3 constructions on the exam. You should probably be able to figure that out. Okay? 3.7, this was the stuff I didn't even have it in me to go over with you again. Frankly, it's insulting, but it's going to be necessary to be part of Chapter 4 going forward. Okay, it's all your linear stuff, slopes of parallel and perpendicular lines. Okay? The study guide has, if you flip through, I think a couple of you did, a couple of you did not, it has a few optional constructions if you want to practice. Okay, the other thing it has, I'm not sure if you noticed, it has this question that pairs with number 19 from the Schoology practice. Okay, so this is where you can actually like get the ruler and then draw in. Ooh, that's not bad. That's terrible. You could actually get the ruler, draw in a line of best fit, and then input it into Schoology. Okay, so the constructions are optional. This question is technically not, but you want to have that so you can input it to school. Yes?
Like on the test, are we gonna have to like write like the equation for it and like how close does
Yeah,
it have to be?
you get a non-graphing calculator, so regressions are not an option. It's just got to be fairly close. It's got to be in the ballpark. Okay, I know that there's a range in answers. Okay, but you don't get a graphing calculator, so running regressions is just kind of out of your mind. Okay? Any questions about it? Here's how I would approach it. First thing I would do, I would just take 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how you did, to look over your first exam from Chapter 3. And then I would do the Schoology practice, and if I felt good about that, I'd feel good about this exam. You just might want to think about doing the extra constructions that I put in there. Okay, there's a few of them. Okay? All right, let's go. Let's do this thing. Yep.